If you're a bookkeeper and you want things to feel clear and more organized this year, this lesson is for you. Because the beginning of the year can either feel like a fresh reset, or it can feel like you're already behind and it's only January. And I don't want that for you. So today, I'm walking you through exactly how I get organized at the beginning of the year so I'm not scrambling later. And this works whether you have 2 clients or 25. Here's a mindset shift. At the start of the year, I'm not trying to do everything. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to set things up so the rest of the year feels easier. The first thing I do is I open up my calendar and I basically build my year before my year builds itself for me. Because if I don't decide what my year looks like, clients, deadlines, random emergencies, they'll decide for me. So I put a few types of things into my calendar right away. First, I add all my client deadlines, month-end closes, payroll deadlines if you run payroll, tax filing dates, anything that has a due date attached to it. Then I block out actual bookkeeping work days, like real head down, do the work days. Not calls, not admin, not playing inbox ping pong, just time that's protected for reconciliations, coding, cleanups, and review. If you don't block that time, it disappears. Next, I block admin time and CEO time because you're not just doing bookkeeping, you're also running a business. So this is where things like invoicing clients, checking profitability, updating your client list, and cleaning up your internal systems actually gets done. And then last, I leave a buffer. This one is underrated, but it saves you from burnout. I leave space for the client that's late sending info, the bank fee disconnecting, the random, hey, quick question that's never actually quick. Buffer time is basically how you stay sane. Next, I do a client reset. I pull up my client list and I ask myself 3 things. First, do I still want to work with this client this year? Do we communicate well? Do they respect the process? Does it feel like a good fit? Second, who do I love working with? Because those clients are your ideal clients. And once you know who they are, you can start looking for more businesses in the same industry with the same vibe. Third, is anyone not working out anymore? If there's a client that constantly feels heavy, chaotic, or draining, sometimes the most organized thing you can do is offboard them and make space for better fitting clients. Okay, now we get into the part that makes your work feel smooth. Because if you don't reset your systems in January, you'll end up doing everything the hard way all year. So instead of getting overwhelmed and trying to fix everything one client at a time, I like to zoom out and do a full system reset. The first thing I do is I update my templates. Anything I use over and over again, I want that cleaned up and ready. So I check things like onboarding forms, my monthly close checklist, email templates for missing info, reoccurring reminders, year-end request lists, and just my client communication scripts. Because if you're rewriting the same emails every month or rebuilding the same checklist every time, you might have a process problem. Then I refresh my monthly workflow checklist. I look at it and think, is this still realistic? Is this still the right order? Am I missing steps and creating issues later? Or are there steps that don't really need to be there anymore? My goal is that when I sit down to work on a client file, I'm not guessing. I'm not thinking, I'm just executing. And consistency is what makes you fast and accurate at the same time. Then I clean up where everything lives. I make sure everything has a clear home. So receipts, contracts and engagement letters, key reports, and year-end documents. Because if things are scattered across your inbox, your desktop, and 12 random folders, it's going to feel messy no matter how good you are at bookkeeping. Then last, I tighten up my task tracking and reoccurring work. I look at how I track month end for each client and whether tasks repeat automatically or I'm relying on my brain to remember everything. Your brain should not be the project management tool. You should have a system that catches things so you don't have to. Next, I do a quick check-in on tools. Because sometimes the reason bookkeeping feels heavy isn't because you're doing something wrong. It's because you're trying to manage a growing workload with systems that aren't built to support it. So I ask myself, what do I want to feel easier this year? Do I want to stop chasing receipts? Do I want onboarding to feel smoother? Do I want month end to feel more repeatable? And then I choose tools based on that. Maybe it's a receipt capture tool so clients stop texting you photos. Maybe it's a better intake form system. Maybe it's task management so month end doesn't live in your head. Maybe it's automation so you aren't sending the same emails over and over manually. Even one tool upgrade can save you hours every month and make your entire business feel way more organized. And then lastly, I do a pricing check-in because the start of the year is the easiest time to clean this up, and it makes such a big difference. I look at each client and I ask, does this client still fit the package they're in? Is their work predictable, or am I always chasing things down? Has their business grown since we agreed on pricing? Or am I doing any extra work every month that is not included? And if I'm noticing a pattern where a file takes way more effort than the fee reflects, I update it. That might mean raising their monthly fee, moving them to a higher package, adding a cleanup fee where necessary, or adjusting what's included so the scope is actually clear. Because your pricing should match the level of work, and you don't want to carry underpriced clients into the new year. So that's my beginning of the year organization reset as a bookkeeper. If you do this, your year is going to feel so much clearer and you'll spend way less time scrambling. And if you want more lessons like this that help you build a bookkeeping business that's organized and profitable, make sure you're subscribed and I'll see you in the next lesson.